There is a difference between a cat that lives with you and a cat that is bonded to you the way a kitten bonds to its mother, and most owners never realize which one they have. The distinction isn't about how long you've had your cat, how much you feed them, or how often they sit on your lap. It runs deeper than that, into the actual psychological role your cat has assigned you in their life. Most owners are categorized as providers, safe, consistent, present, but ultimately external to the cat's core emotional world. A smaller number of owners get categorized as something else entirely, a parental figure, a secure base, the one their cat's nervous system fundamentally organizes itself around. Once that bond forms, a cat doesn't just tolerate your presence, they depend on it in ways that look almost startlingly like the way a young animal depends on its mother. And there are three specific signs that tell you clearly which category you're in. Here's what most owners miss. The parent figure bond isn't shown through grand gestures or constant affection. It shows up in three quiet, consistent, deeply rooted behaviors that most people walk past every day without recognizing what they mean. Let's go through them one by one. Picture this. Your cat is exploring the house, playing, moving from room to room with apparent independence, and then, without any obvious reason, they come back to wherever you are. Not to ask for food, not because something startled them, just to check in, sit near you briefly, and then potentially go back to what they were doing. Most owners barely register this pattern because it seems so ordinary, but here's what most owners miss. This specific behavior, using a person as a home base to move out from and return to, is one of the most studied and recognized markers of a parental attachment bond in animal behavior research. This pattern is called secure base behavior, and it was originally identified in human infants. A child with a secure attachment to a parent will explore freely, but periodically return to the parent as a touchstone before venturing out again. The parent isn't just a provider in this dynamic, they're a psychological anchor, the thing the child's nervous system uses to regulate itself during exploration. In the 1980s and 1990s, researchers began applying the same attachment frameworks to dogs and eventually to cats, and found something remarkable. Many cats displayed the same secure base behavior toward their primary caregiver that human children display toward parents. A study published by researchers at Oregon State University found that the majority of cats tested displayed secure attachment behavior toward their owners, including using their owner as a safe base from which to explore an unfamiliar environment. When the owner was present, the cats explored more freely. When the owner left the room, many cats showed reduced activity and signs of stress. When the owner returned, the cats sought proximity before resuming exploration. This is not random. This is the behavioral signature of a parental bond. The practical takeaway? Start noticing your cat's check-ins. If your cat regularly returns to your location between activities, not for food, not because they're scared, just because, you are functioning as their secure base. The way to honor that role isn't to chase the cat or demand more contact. It's to be consistently, reliably present in a way they can count on. The stability of your presence is the entire point. It's what makes you feel like a parent rather than just a person who happens to be there. Kneading, suckling on blankets or fabric, bringing you objects, chirping or making soft, high-pitched vocalizations that adult cats almost never use with other cats. These behaviors have one thing in common. They belong in their original form to the relationship between a kitten and its mother. When an adult cat directs these behaviors specifically at you, not at other people, not at other pets, but at you, it is one of the most direct pieces of evidence available that their nervous system has mapped you onto the role their mother used to occupy. Here's what most owners miss about kneading in particular. This behavior originates in nursing. Kittens need their mother's body to stimulate milk flow, and the physical sensation, the warmth, the security of that moment becomes deeply embedded in the cat's emotional memory. When an adult cat needs you, they're not just comfortable, they're in a neurological state that is genuinely similar to the state they were in as a kitten with their mother, a state where they feel completely safe, completely secure, and completely trusting of the body beneath their paws. This response doesn't transfer to just anyone, it goes where the deepest trust lives. The same logic applies to soft vocalizations. Adult cats don't meow at each other. The meow, in its domestic form, is a communication that cats have developed specifically for humans, and research by animal communication scientists has suggested that adult cats vocalize at humans in ways that parallel kitten-to-mother communication, particularly the soft, high-pitched chirps and trills that signal affection and proximity rather than need or demand. When your cat uses these sounds specifically with you, they're using the emotional register reserved for the closest possible bond. Feline behaviorists who study the depth of cat-human attachment have consistently noted that these regression behaviors, kneading, soft vocalizations, object bringing, cluster most heavily in cats with the strongest attachment to a specific person, and that they appear most reliably in moments of genuine emotional ease rather than need. Your cat isn't needing you because they want something. They're needing you because being near you puts them in the same emotional state their mother once did. The practical takeaway: if your cat does any of these things specifically with you and not with others, take note. You haven't just gained a pet's trust. You've been placed in a category of emotional significance that has a physiological root. The appropriate response is simply to receive it without disrupting it. Stay still, stay calm, let the behavior complete on its own terms. You're not just being needed, you're being told in the oldest feline language available that you are home.